My hands tremble as we pull up in front of the hotel. Officer Richards drove me to Alphavelen's penthouse apartment. The whole ride, I racked my brain trying to figure out how he had Valerian here. Did he spot him at the school and take him? Did Valerian look for him? Or did someone notice the uncanny resemblance between them? I have many questions, but nothing terrifies me more than what happens now that Valen knows he fathered a son. He'll have to kill me before I ever let him take my son. My nerves are shot and my eyes burn from spending all afternoon and night bawling like a baby. My mind instantly went to the thought that he was kidnapped, or one of the Forsaken had killed him. The relief I felt when I found out he was alive and okay was as crushing as the thought of losing him. There's nothing worse than thinking you lost a child. The what-ifs, the sheer panic, and frantic places your mind takes you are a pure nightmare. My mind had been zooming in and out of the worst-case scenarios. Plus, because he was considered a rogue child, it's not like anyone else really cared that he went missing. Before having Valerian, it was hard to imagine a life that centered around him. But once he was here, he became my entire world, overshadowing any memory of a life without him. Once you become a parent, the landscape of fear shifts. It's transformed, weaponized. As a parent, you have someone worth more to you than anything in existence, someone you'd lay your life down for without hesitation, just to ensure they can take another breath. Without realizing, you take those old fears and wield them like the weapon they became. You're no longer spooked by childhood nightmares like the boogeyman. You become the boogeyman, the shield against those very monsters. But instead of old fears, new horrors flood in. The dread of everyday people around you, neighbors, strangers in the park. It's not that you're unafraid. It's not that your fear has been redefined, because now you're not afraid for yourself. Your fear is for another face, another name, your child's. Death? It's no longer how you die that scares you. Instead, it's the paralyzing fear of leaving your child alone in a world where no one can love them as deeply as you do. News headlines about missing children in your area send shivers down your spine. Your mind spirals to the unbearable thought. What if that was my child? Because your child is not just your responsibility. They are the axis on which your world turns. They're your reason to rise each day, the beating heart of your existence. To lose one is to lose your very reason for breathing. The overwhelming dread I felt during those desperate hours of searching surpassed any fear I've ever felt. So, stepping into the elevator, I finally let myself breathe, knowing Valerian is safe. However, knowing this doesn't lessen my anxiety, because now I'm back to fear one, someone taking my child. Except this time, it will be by his own father. I move from foot to foot as the elevator travels up to the top floor. The hotel is lovely, though I'm shocked to find that Alphavelen's floor is heavily guarded. Exactly who is he expecting to attack him? We had to use a key in the elevator to get to this floor. Officer Richards grabs my arm when I step out. He walks me down the middle of the corridor, containing one door and 5 guards. Each one stares at me curiously. It must be strange for them to see a rogue girl visiting the Alpha. Oh, the scandal that would result in the media if I was spotted here. Officer Richards knocks on the door, before suddenly turning on his heel and walking off. Psst! I hiss at him, and he stops. Where are you going?
Work. I was told to drop you off, not hold your hand,
he says with a smile. I'm about to retort that he should remain, in case this turns into a violent custody disagreement, when the door opens and Beta Marcus is suddenly standing in front of me.
Luna,
he says, and I scrunch up my face. Yeah, don't call me that. Where's my son? He steps aside, motioning for me to come in, and I step past him. The place is all open plan, and I realize the entire floor is just his apartment. Large windows run the whole length from floor to ceiling, looking out over the city. I bet the view is breathtaking at night. Hesitantly walking around, I notice another security guard sitting on the couch when I spot Valerian on the sofa beside him. The huge security guard has a game controller in his hand. Valerian glances at me before shrieking in delight. "Mom!" he squeals, placing the controller he had in his hands down and rushing over to me. But before Valerian reaches me, Alphanovel scoops him up with one arm before depositing him back on the couch. Valen kisses his head before looking at the security guard, who nods to him in some silent message.
Stay here. I need to speak to your mother.
Valen tells Valerian as I step closer, wanting to see my boy. I try to move toward him. My heart frantically thumps in my chest as I reach the back of the couch, but Valen grips my arm and suddenly starts walking. I stumble as I'm forced backward before shoving him off, earning me a growl from him. "Don't fucking touch me," I hiss at him, making sure to keep my voice low so Valerian doesn't overhear as we stand in Valen's oversized kitchen. Marcus leans on the counter, and my eyes dart to him when Valen steps closer, caging me in with his huge body and pressing me against the counter.
You want to explain how the fuck we have a son that I had no idea existed until he turned up on my doorstep?
"Well, for starters, you don't have a doorstep, just a door," I tell, rolling my eyes. If he's going to talk to me like shit, then this conversation is over before it starts. I push on his chest, but he places his hands on either side of my hips, refusing to move.
I'm not in the mood for more of your lies. Now answer me.
He growls. "Who the fuck do you think you are? You're not my alpha. I will not tolerate you talking to me like some child that needs a scolding. Now back up," I tell him, glaring. His aura slips out, and the only thing keeping me upright is his body pressed against mine. A whimper escapes my lips, having forgotten just how powerful an alpha aura is when directed at you in anger. And he is angry. No, that isn't a strong enough word. He's livid.
Don't test me, Everly. You know exactly who I am and what I'm capable of. Just remember, if you want to leave here with my son, you better start speaking.
He warns. Marcus comes up behind him and grips his arm. My eyes dart to him over Valen's shoulder.
Valen, calm down.
Marcus whispers to him, and he growls but steps back. I breathe deeply when his aura slips off me, allowing me to stand without wanting to collapse in a heap at his feet.
How?
Alphanovel says, leaning on the counter. He looks over his shoulder at our son, who is unaware of the tension behind him. "Geez, I don't know, Valen. Crept into your bed and left without saying a word?"
What?
He growls, and I scoff. Is he really that stupid? He runs his hand down his face before rubbing his temples.
Explain. Why would you not tell me?
He growls. "I did tell you. Same as I told you I wasn't a rogue whore."
I am pretty sure I would remember if I had a son, Everly. Don't bullshit me. It's bad enough you fed that shit to our son.
He snarls. "I did tell you. I also fucking tried to tell you the night you kicked me out of your pack house in the fucking rain with our newborn son. I tried to tell you when I was pregnant. Twice. What did you expect me to do? Beg and plead for you to believe me? Because I fucking tried that too. But your secretary kept telling me to fuck off and that she would put a restraining order on me."
Was I drunk?
"Which time? Most of our encounters were when you were obliterated. Not my issue that you're an alcoholic. I did my part."
You are so frustrating. You kept my son from me. My son is rogue because of you.
He snaps, pointing an accusing finger at me. I growl at him and he laughs, tossing his hands in the air. "Laugh! Go on, you think it's funny? You thought it was funny when I told you I was pregnant too. Laugh like it was the funniest thing you've ever heard." He stops, staring at me.
There is no way I would have ignored someone telling me they were pregnant.
He says, "I would never sleep with a 17-year-old, especially a mongrel related to Alpha John." "Well, newsflash, asshole, you did." I spit at him.
Excuse me?
That's what you said, then laughed and hung up on me. I tried to call you back, and you said if I ever called with my lies again, you would skin me alive, that you wouldn't be associated with a mutt of Alpha Johns, I tell him, before looking back at my son on the couch.
No, wait. Repeat that. What did you just say?
He says, looking like his brain is too slow to process information in real time. Fuck, does this fool have amnesia to go with his OCD? What a messed up combination that would be. Though I would like watching him clean the same spot repeatedly. However, I shake that thought away when he steps closer and I'm forced to take a step back.
Your last name is Summers,
he states. It is now. It's my mother's maiden name. My father stripped me of his name the day he stripped me of my title because I got pregnant by you. My father refused to have a rogue whore for a daughter, just like you refused to believe you had fathered the child of a mutt, I tell him. Alphanovel stares at me.
You're not an alpha. I would feel it if you were,
he says, folding his arms across his chest. I've been a rogue for 5 fucking years. My aura is gone now. You sticking your dick in every bitch you came across for the past 4.5 years made sure my aura was obliterated. My aura is non-existent because of you, I say through gritted teeth, all of the anger from the past 5 years threatening to spill over.
What are you talking about?
He snaps. I snarl. What part wasn't he getting? I shove past Valen before grabbing Marcus by the collar of his shirt and slamming my lips against a startled Beta who has his hands up in the air. Valen staggers, clutching his stomach, and I release Marcus, who looks like he's about to faint at what I did. Turning to Valen, I point at him. Now imagine how bad that would hurt if I fucked him too, I growl at him. Valen's fists clench at his sides, and Marcus puts up his hands, taking a step away from him and me.
She kissed me,
he yaps out when a furious growl tears out of Valen, this time earning the attention of our son. Mom? Everything's fine, honey. Play with your, new friend, I tell him, glancing at the behemoth of a man sitting next to my son playing video games. He looks like he should be chasing down the Hulk. Valerian stands, looking between us.
I'll be over in a minute, buddy. Sit down, please,
Valen tells him, and he glances between us again before reluctantly sitting back down and returning his attention back to the game.
Tatum. His name is Tatum,
Valen says with a sigh, pointing to the man on the couch beside Valerian. Great. Are we good now? We all on the same page? If so, I'll grab my son and be on my way, I tell him, about to step past him when he blocks me with his arm.
No, we aren't done yet,
Valen says, his lips pulling back over his teeth. I sigh, folding my arms across my chest. I don't know what else we could possibly have to talk about.
If you are Alpha John's daughter, how come he's never mentioned you?
Did you not listen to a thing I just said? He thought I was a rogue whore, shunned me for it like all the other packs do. I lost everything because of you.
But you're not.
Very observant of you. Now, if you will excuse me, it's a school night, and I need to get my son home.
He isn't leaving.
Like hell he isn't.
He's my son too. You can't just decide to keep him to yourself.
And you don't get to wake up one day and suddenly decide to be a mate and father. It doesn't work like that, I retort. He abruptly rises taller, towering over me. Then Valerian is suddenly at our side. He tugs on his father's shirt, and he instantly steps back, looking down at the boy. I'm tired. Valerian yawns, and Valen looks at me when I bend down to pick him up. Have you eaten? I ask him.
Marcus made him grilled cheese. He also had some ice cream.
Valen answers, and I nod. Come, we should get you home for a bath and bed, I tell him, glancing at Valen, who sighs but nods.
I'll run you home,
he says, reaching for his car keys from a bowl on the bench. Are you going to come home with us? Valerian asks his father, and I swallow.
Not tonight, but I'll pick you up in the morning to take you to school.
I glare at him, but keep my mouth shut. Really? Valerian says, brightening up and looking alert.
Yes, your mother just needs to let me know what time to get you.
He asks, raising an eyebrow at me. I suppress a growl, knowing it will only upset Valerian if I say no. He gets up at 7. Valen nods before reaching for him, and I let him take him.
Come on, we can talk more tomorrow. He should get to bed. He can barely keep his eyes open.
Valen says, and I follow him. Valen leads us toward the door. I'm relieved he's letting me take our son home. Valerian has his head resting on my shoulder and swiftly falls asleep. However, when Valen opens the door, my footsteps falter, and I freeze when I notice his father talking to one of the guards out front. Valen also stops, and I watch his father laugh at something one of the guards was telling him when he turns. His eyes go to us standing in the doorway of his son's apartment. I drop my face into Valerian's shoulder, and Valen steps in front of me, blocking the view I had of his father. Alphanovel growls. My heart flutters frantically, and I fight the urge to take a step back.
Why the fuck do you have a rogue whore in your apartment?
His words cut off as his eyes settle on Valerian in my arms, his head just poking out above Valen's shoulder. He looks at his son and sniffs the air before shoving past Valen. I stumble over my own feet, moving a step away. Valen's growl resonates off the walls as he tosses his father against the wall, making me jump. A hand grips my shoulder and yanks me backward out of the way. Valen pins his father against the wall, his forearm resting against Kalen's throat. I look over my shoulder to see who had grabbed me, to find Tatum and Marcus. Marcus jerks me behind him, and Tatum grips my arms, holding me steady before Marcus moves to put himself in front of me, acting as a personal shield.
What is the meaning of this, Valen? That boy...
Kalen growls and looks back over at me. His eyes narrow before shock flits across his face.
You...
He points at me, and Valen growls at his father in a clear warning.
Everly, and if you ever approach her like that again, Father, we will have issues.
Valen warns, his canine slipping from his parted lips, angled toward his father's throat.
You know her?
Kalen asks, looking back at his son, and Valen sighs.
Yes.
Valen says, letting his father go and fixing the man's jacket. Kalen readjusts his tie before he glances between us. Valerian stirs in my arms and lifts his head before turning to investigate what's going on. Kalen's eyes widen, and he takes a startled step back as his eyes fall on his grandson when Valerian turns his head to look at him. He looks even more shocked than he had been at seeing the woman to whom his mate left everything she owned. "Mommy, who's that man?" Valerian whispers to me as he pats the side of my face, trying to get my attention. My eyes remain on the man responsible for killing the woman who made me who I am today. "He's your grandfather," I tell Valerian, while pressing my face to his and inhaling his scent, allowing me to calm down. Kalen blinks and tries to take a step forward, but his shoulder brushes Valen, who has once again moved into his path. Marcus also moves more, blocking Alpha Kalen and taking up a protective stance behind Valen.
You have a son?
Kalen gasps as he turns his head to look at Valen.
Yes, and this is Everly. She is my mate. What? The rogue whore is your mate? Call her that once more, Father, and see what happens.
Valen warns. I'm honestly a little shocked to see him defend my title against his father, and I see Kalen swallow. Kalen waves his hands in the air, and it's clear to me he's trying to get over his shock. I shuffle my feet awkwardly and rely on Valen to keep his father in check. Marcus and Valen look over at me, struggling to hold Valerian's weight. Valen's eyes, too, fall on my shaking arms. He moves past Marcus and reaches for his son. I pull back, not wanting Valerian anywhere near Kalen, but Valen growls at me, and I reluctantly let him go, allowing Valen to take him. My arms instantly feel empty. Valen places Valerian on his hip, kissing his temple before reaching for my hand and tugging me toward him.
Everly, this is Kaylin. Dad, this is Everly, my mate.
Valen introduces us, unaware that no introductions were necessary. Kaylin holds out his hand to me, and Valen looks at me expectantly. I hesitantly place my hand in his firm grip. Immediately, Kaylin yanks me toward him, inhaling my scent. Valen growls menacingly behind me, and I see Tatum and Marcus step closer, like they're about to separate us and intervene if necessary. Kaylin squeezes my hand painfully, and I grip my teeth. He shocks me by suddenly hugging me, squeezing the air from my lungs, and I feel my back crack.
Nice to meet you, Everly.
But the underlying warning in his tone I did not miss. Kaylin pushes me back, holding me at arm's length, and pulls his face away. His amber eyes meet mine. A chill runs up my spine at the cold look he gives me. Hatred boils in my blood. Nice to meet you, I murmur back. The energy rippling off his father cannot be missed. Not even by Valen, who looks at his father like he's about to toss him away from me. Kaylin pats my arms before he grips my shoulders, and his demeanor swiftly changes.
We will have to catch up sometime, sort this rogue business out. My son can't have a rogue for a mate. The press would have a field day,
He says, his eyes scrutinizing my face, when Valen clears his throat beside me.
We would like to keep things quiet for now, Father, at least until I wrap my head around the fact I have a son and mate.
Valen tells him. Kaylin pats my shoulder.
Yes, I think that is for the best, for now.
Kaylin says, before looking at Valerian. His eyes soften as he stares at his grandson, and he pinches his chin between his fingers. Valerian stares up at him curiously, but Kaylin's face holds none of the animosity he has towards me.
He has our eyes, son. Looks like you when you were his age.
Kaylin tells Valen, who nods in agreement.
What is your name, son?
Kaylin asks Valerian. Valerian, Papa, he answers, and I fight back the urge to cringe at the endearment Valerian used.
Good name, a strong one, just like your father's. I look forward to getting to know you better.
Kaylin tells him, brushing his cheek gently with his thumb.
Where are you all going?
Kaylin asks, turning his gaze to his son.
I'm taking them home. It's a school night. Your mate and son aren't staying here with you?
Kaylin asks, before he looks over at me. I look at Valen when he answers, saving me from having to.
No, I was about to drop them at home. Nonsense. There's plenty of room. They should remain here. You'll have to mark her, of course. We can't have anyone noticing your mate is a rogue now.
Kaylin says, and I take a step away from Valen, bumping into Marcus behind me.
In good time, Father. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get my son to bed.
Valen tells him before he reaches over and grabs my hand. Valen tugs me out of the door after him, and Kaylin steps aside at Valen's dismissal. I can feel his eyes on me as I walk with Valen to the elevator. Instinctively, I step closer to him. I hate that I did, but his father terrifies me more than Valen does. Valen glances down at me for the action, but doesn't say anything as he hits the elevator button. Valerian yawns, mumbling as he tries to get comfortable in his father's arms. Valen tugs me against him and places his arm across my shoulders. For once, I don't shove him away, preferring his closeness and the safety it offers, instead of remaining awkwardly at his side under his father's watchful gaze.
Tatum,
Valen calls, and the monstrous man moves toward us. He stops beside me and looks at his alpha, inclining his head slightly.
you are now assigned to Everly and Valerian.
Tatum nods and smiles down at me.
Of course, Alpha.
He answers, and I wonder what Valen means when the elevator doors open and Valen tugs me inside. Tatum also steps into the elevator with us, and I let out the breath I'd been holding.
I'm sorry about my father. He has...
He pauses. Strong views about titles? I offer, and Valen sighs.
Yes, I'll take care of it.
No need, I tell him while I reach for Valerian, but Valen pulls away.
I have him. He's fine. I won't drop him, Everly.
Valen says, pressing his nose against Valerian's hair and inhaling his scent. The drive back to the hotel is silent. I had climbed in the back with Valerian when we got to the car. Valen told me he would get Valerian a booster seat, but I said nothing. I have no idea how long it will be until the novelty of having a child will wear off, so I don't bother to argue that he won't be taking our son any time soon. Just as the car pulls up out front, I unclip Valerian's seatbelt while Valen parks the car. He gets out quickly before scooping a sleeping Valerian into his arms and tossing his jacket over him to shield him from the rain. I lead Valen to the apartment I share with Zoe. Tatum follows us, looking around, alert, which bothers me. He surely didn't mean Tatum would be following us, did he? My employees will never get any work done with Tatum hovering around. The man is huge and looks like he belongs in a cave grinding bones to make his butter, not following a rogue girl and child around. I can take him, I tell Valen, who growls at me and pushes past. He sniffs the air before walking up the hallway, and I follow. Zoe is sitting up in her bed with a book in her lap. She was with me when we got the phone call from Valen about Valerian, so I knew she would have waited up. I'll have to fill her in. In the morning, I tell her, and I close her door before she nods to me. Walking over to Valerian's little room, I see Valen sitting beside him, tugging Valerian's shoes off before he tucks the blankets around him. I watch, safely tucked out of view, as he tends to Valerian, then switches the small lamp off and goes to get up. I move away from the door when Valerian suddenly speaks up, making me pause. You aren't leaving me, are you? I need you, Valerian says, and Valen pauses. Mom needs you too. She won't admit that, though, so don't snitch on me for telling you. I hear Valen chuckle softly.
I'm leaving, but I'll be back in the morning.
He promises. Do you pinky promise? Valerian asks, and I can't help but peek back into the room. Valen stares at his outstretched pinky before gripping it, giving it a shake, and Valerian laughs. No, like this, Valerian says, looping his pinky through his father's. That means you can't break it. Pinky promises are special, Valerian tells him.
Okay, I pinky promise. I will be back in the morning to take you to school. Now get some sleep,
Valen tells him, retucking the blanket around him. I walk back to the living room area and see Tatum waiting patiently by the door.
7 a.m. you said he gets up, right?
Valen asks as he walks up behind me. I nod as he stops beside me. You don't have to do the school run, Valen.
Well, I do now. Apparently, I can't break a pinky promise, Everly, and I want to. I'm not asking. He's my son, too,
Valen says, and I press my lips in a line.
It's late. I'll let you get to bed. I'll be back tomorrow. Tatum will be outside if you need anything.
Wait, you weren't expecting him to remain here?
Yes. Either he stays or I do, Everly,
he says, his eyes sinking into mine. It's the middle of the night. What could possibly happen? We're going to bed. I am capable of looking after my son.
Our son. And you are so capable that our son escaped school and found me? That shows a lot about your parenting skills.
Don't talk to me about parenting, Valen. Where were you the first 5 years of his life? I didn't know he would go searching for you. He's never taken off before, so don't you blame me for that.
Either way, Tatum stays or I do. So, which is it? I won't leave you both unprotected when Forsaken are running around at the back of your hotel.
I look over at Tatum. If I had to choose, it would definitely be the giant. Fine, but one night only. I won't have him scaring my employees, I say.
Fine, have it your way. I'll stay tomorrow night then,
Valen says, before pecking my head and walking toward the door, before he stops and turns, looking back at me.
And you heard my father, Everly. I can't have you running around rogue. You have a week to get your head around letting me mark you, or I'll do it by force if necessary. I won't have my son remain rogue,"
he tells me, then walks out and closes the door before I have the opportunity to protest.
I can't sleep. All night I toss and turn, knowing they're both over there, so close, yet out of reach. It gives me a little comfort knowing Tatum is there with them, yet everything in me screams I should be the one protecting them. How I've failed. No wonder she hates me. I'd hate me too if our roles were reversed. Now a few past incidents make sense. Why I could never hold a relationship to save my life. Why I had trouble with my sex life. The sudden bouts of depression seeping into me. Now it makes me wonder if I knew all along on a subconscious level, and it was my body trying to stop me from making the idiotic decisions I sometimes did. She felt it all, and didn't say anything. When she kissed Marcus, the pain that she caused was brief, but painful all the same. How did she endure years of my infidelity? I may not have known about her, but she certainly knew of me, which makes me groan at how stupid I've been. The countless brothels, the women, and she endured that pain over and over for so many long years. 5 years. For some reason that number keeps popping up in my head as I try to dredge up any memory that would lead me to her. Why was that number so significant? Besides the obvious, of course. Yet something nags at me, tugging as if it should matter to me. 5 years. 5 years, I mutter under my breath. Lurching upright, I feel my breath leave me altogether, and I gasp, nearly choking on my own spit. The Alpha meeting. The fairy girl. The girl who snuck out on me the following day. Could that have been her? I was pissed off that she left before I even woke. Something tells me it was Everly, yet I never saw her face. Marcus woke me the following day and she was gone. He said he passed the girl, and I remember it irritated me because I was angry he didn't stop her. That girl has remained in my thoughts for 5 years already, and it's one of the things that got me through each night, finding myself often thinking of the girl dressed as a fairy. Yet I could never explain why she would randomly pop into my thoughts. Marcus had told me to look for her, but when I checked the registry, I could never find her name, which now makes sense. She was underage. She wasn't supposed to be on that side of the hotel, which was for only adults and future alphas. She shouldn't have been where I was, and I always thought it odd when I went over the registry of attendees. I could never find anyone that even resembled her. No ID had me jumping the way Everly did. All the weeks I had spent searching the hotel database, and she was in the kids section. I cringe at that mental thought. Don't go there. Creepy as hell. Yet I kind of remember that night, even though I was wasted. I remember how I was drawn to her, and no matter where I turned, I found myself in her vicinity again, drawn to her like a moth to a flame. It had to be her, and it made sense why she would have run. I spent weeks angry that she ran out on me. But it suddenly makes sense because if Alpha John is her father, I can imagine the trouble she would have gotten in if she'd been caught with me. That had been right in the middle of a brutal war. Land was being divided after we bought out half of Silverstone Pack's lands. They fell into hot water with debts, and we settled those debts in exchange for a good-sized chunk of their territory, giving us ownership to half the city. A war ensued. Too many lives were lost to violence in the streets. Constant attacks. Though we weren't completely innocent, my pack killed just as many as John's did. Alpha John was furious. It added fuel to the fire, and our feud only became worse. So it makes me curious what changed between my father and John that they're now willing to marry me off to his daughter. What were the chances I would be mates with one of his daughters? Just not the one they were trying to make me marry. Nothing makes sense. My father hated Alpha John, but now they seem amicable, friendly, and it makes me wonder what John has over him. My father is not a man to back down to his rivals, more like stomp on them and kick them to the curb. My phone buzzes beside where I lie, and I glance at it to see Tatum's number pop up. Quickly opening it, I answer the phone. Everything okay? Yes, Everly went for a run. Should I follow her or stay with your son? Do you know where she went? I asked, but she said it was none of my business and walked out. Just give her space. If she isn't back after an hour, though, call me. Okay, boss, Tatum says, hanging up. Going through my phone contacts, I quickly call her, hoping she'll be more talkative on the phone than face-to-face. We only seem to argue when we're in each other's presence, but I'm slowly starting to understand why.
What, Valen?
She answers after the third ring. She sounds tired, her voice strained. Tatum said you left the apartment.
Zoe's there. I didn't leave him by himself, and I figured your friend would watch over him, unless there's a reason I shouldn't be leaving Valerian with him.
No, Tatum's fine. He's safe. I was just concerned about where you were going this late at night.
The reserve. However, I'm now headed back home because someone fixed the damn fence again. I had it reopened yesterday afternoon, and someone keeps fixing it.
Everly curses, and I hear her kick the mesh. I press my lips in a line, knowing it's my fault. That may be my fault. Marcus told me the fence was broken. I sent someone out to fix it.
Of course it was you.
She sighs. Well, I'll stay on the phone with you. Make sure you get home okay. How was I supposed to know it was intentionally opened?
I'm capable of getting home, Valen, and it's fine. A lot of us use it as a shortcut. Whatever. I can wait until tomorrow or something,
she says, though she sounds like she's almost breathless. Please, this doesn't have to be an argument. Just don't hang up until I know you're back with Tatum. Do you always go running this late? She doesn't hang up on me, so I figure she's giving in.
No.
Then why are you running so late? Everly doesn't answer straight away, and I glance at the phone to make sure it's still connected.
Because I need to,
she finally says, though it sounds more like a murmur and like there's more meaning to it than that. What do you mean?
It doesn't matter, Valen. Anyway, I'm at my door. Your bodyguard is staring at me because I look like a drowned rat from the rain. Can I go now?
I just want to make sure you're home safe. She groans, the noise sounding annoyed.
Hey, BFG, tell your boss I'm home.
I hear her say before I hear Tatum. I hear in the background, she's home, and sigh with relief.
You might as well come in. It's pouring. I can't have you sleep out here. You can stay on the couch.
I hear her tell him. Oh, just 1 second. I hear him murmur before I feel the mind link open up.
Are you for real now? Are you seriously asking permission?
I vaguely hear Everly say through the phone. Tatum's voice flits through my head at the same time she snaps at me through the phone.
Either he can come in or he leaves. I won't be able to sleep knowing he's outside freezing on my doorstep.
I assume you got what she said? Tatum asks through the mind link. It's fine, I say to him, out loud so Everly can hear too. I cut the mind link and hear Everly sigh.
I'll grab you a towel. And if you get beaten in the morning by a petite girl with an angelic face, it's just Zoe. I live with her.
Everly warns him. I can only imagine the amused look Tatum would have had at that. I hear him grunt, and I smile, amused that she would warn him she lives with someone. He already knew. He would have noticed the extra sense.
Okay, can I go now? Tatum is sleeping on the couch, and I'm tired.
Yes, Everly. Good night. I tell her, and she hangs up. I sigh, now to convince her to let me mark her. I stare up at my ceiling. I can't help but smile despite the fact she hates me. She still named our son after me. Valerian is my and my father's middle name. All the men in our family have the same middle name. Well, except Valerian, obviously, which makes me wonder what it is. Yeah, my dad definitely has a thing for the letter V. Valen Valerian Solace. What a mouthful that was growing up. Yet I know he also named me in honor of my mother, Valerie, with a mix of his name too. The Alpha meeting is coming up soon. It won't be long now before I'll have to put everything out in the open. I just hope Everly will let me mark her within the week. I'm not sure I could actually go through with forcibly marking her, not after everything I've already made her endure, and I don't want to give her more reason to hate me. On the plus side, I now have more excuses to see her since we share a son together. I never gave much thought to being a father. I've always wanted kids because it was expected, but I never really pictured children. However, after meeting Valerian, it's all I want to be now. Fuck everything else. I just want my mate and son. Want to be part of his life and hers if she'll have me. Rolling on my side, I set my alarm. I have a pinky promise to keep, and I have no intentions of breaking it.